we're back to talk more about Final Fantasy music. We have done all of the main series up to today, which is Final Fantasy 14 1.0.
1.0.
And also Tactics has been included. So that's all that we've covered at this point. We wanted to do 14 1.0's soundtrack as its own thing.
Yeah.
Because this game
has a lot.
It's a complicated history.
It's like a different game, right?
Yeah, right. It was developed originally by the same team that made Final Fantasy 11.
Oh, yeah.
And Final Fantasy 11, which we have done a soundtrack analysis for already.
Yeah, I loved it.
Was in part, Nobuo Uematsu did several pieces on that, but was like mostly composed by Mizuta. But as is written here in a one-up interview with Nobuo Uematsu, he says, I wrote a few tracks for Final Fantasy XI, and at the time, producer Hiromichi Tanaka said to me, if we do another online game, I'd like you on it again. So he was basically just, on the next online game we make after we do FF11, we'd like you to write the music. Except this time, Nobuo Uematsu did the bulk of it.
Yeah,
there were contributions from other composers, including Mizuta, who did a couple tracks, and Soken, who ended up becoming the primary composer on the now redone, re-released Realm Reborn version of Final Fantasy XIV, who ended up becoming kind of the lead composer. He did a few as well. So we're going to be talking about a little bit of the differences in style between Soken and Uematsu. We've already done that for composers like Hamauzu and Sakimoto before. But they didn't just like take all the same music in Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 and then just reuse that for Realm Reborn.
Nah.
They composed an entirely new soundtrack, and it's an entirely new game that was basically restarted from scratch. So Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, while it has many similar story elements and even characters, is a totally different game from like the gameplay foundation. It's still an MMO, obviously, but works pretty differently because the original game was not well received.
No.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the only mainline Final Fantasy game that has an aggregate negative score.
Oh, wow.
And it's a really bad. I think it's like a below a 5.
Wow.
It's pretty freaking bad. I mean,
crazy.
Even the most divisive mainline Final Fantasy games are like high or low 80s. I think low 80s might be the lowest ranked one. Final Fantasy 15 might be like an 8.1 or something like that.
Okay.
Or an 81 aggregate. This is like a 4 point something or a 5 or something.
Wow.
Like that. It was really bad.
That's crazy.
People did not like it. But it was interesting to go through and listen to the soundtrack that having been mostly composed by Nobuo Uematsu, who sort of created the musical identity of the series, and to kind of hear a lot of tracks where I go like, yep, that sounds a little bit like Final Fantasy IX there. Yep, that sounds a little bit like this. You can hear him kind of all over it. And then the contrast between him and the other composers. But yeah, figured we'd go through this one first before we get into like the proper, Realm Reborn and its expansions beyond that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What were your thoughts overall on this soundtrack?
I like it quite a bit, but it took a couple of listens for me to kind of get a feel for it. I wasn't feeling a ton of the motifs and the themes. I wasn't feeling the recurrence. I was getting a quite scattered, various different types of musical genres, like a whole bunch of different tracks that all are interesting in their own right. To think of the whole thing as a cohesive album, I kind of struggled with that a little bit. But all the songs are good. The songs are great. As an album, I just kind of wonder. And this is a game that is not really playable anymore. And so is there any form in which you could play this game? Like play it?
As far as I am aware.
Like did somebody cache a server?
But it is possible that there are private servers.
Okay.
I mean, there are lots of private servers for Final Fantasy XI, for instance. For people who want to play older versions, because the games evolve and change and they have like
Quite a
different, updates to the games over time. So like playing Final Fantasy XI today will feel very much not like what it was to play it in its first couple of years of release or something.
I see, yeah.
Same with World of Warcraft.
Right.
Like there are a lot of people who want to go back to older versions of World of Warcraft before like new updates came in or they added new things. And so there'll be private servers for that. I think even that Blizzard released like a WoW classic game where you can just play like an older version of WoW rather than the current version of WoW. So maybe somebody out there has archived Final Fantasy XIV 1.0. I don't think the game was very well liked by almost anyone, though.
Like right off the bat, it's true. I just, as a matter of history,
art history.
like I would like for this to be
preservation.
archived somehow, somewhere.
Yeah.
But it wasn't worth keeping the lights on for this particular game. The development history was pretty rough. And it was like everybody was good at their jobs. It just didn't come together. They just couldn't bring it all together, it seems. That's like the biggest issue here. And the soundtrack might even reflect that.
Yeah.
I thought.
I've got a quote here that leads exactly to, I think, reinforcing your overall feeling of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can't point to any one piece or one track and go like, that's a bad track. It's a good track.
No, they're all good individually.
Like as an individual listening experience, it's like that's pretty great. There you can feel the Uematsu flair in that.
Yeah.
But just get a load of this. He says, I was still a salaried employee of Square back during FF9, and I could talk to all the artists and designers and programmers I wanted at any time. You could really get a feel for where the project was at any given moment. I can't communicate like that all the time now that I'm freelance, and that's one big change there. On the technical side as well, Final Fantasy XIV has very few limits compared to Final Fantasy IX and its chip-produced sound format. And he goes on to say, sorry, by he I mean Uematsu speaking here, we deliberately didn't have an overall concept for the soundtrack, which left me free to compose what I wanted.
Okay.
At the start, I figured I'd write a lot of tracks or rock tracks because then maybe I can get a chance to play them myself at concerts.
His motivations are so different.
And that's why there's so much Black Mage's sound
all
over
Oh my gosh,
the Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 soundtrack.
Yeah,
Almost all the
prog
battle
rock.
tracks are
Yeah.
basically just Black Mage's pieces.
Yeah.
There are so many battle tracks in this game, though, that I figured nothing but rock would get boring. That's why there were a few orchestral pieces in there, too. So we talked about this in an episode a couple weeks ago. Square went through a really, really difficult time period here just from like a technical development standpoint. They were trying to build an engine to use for the making of their games, Crystal Tools, which was not coming together fast enough for the projects that they were wanting to release.
And an important note on that, their best developers, their top programmers were basically taken to work on that, on making the engine, leaving the games themselves to be made by the teams that were not seen as the best.
Yeah. Understaffed and not having the tools they needed to work with, like the game engine to work on to make the games. So many of these games were delayed because of that, and many of these games suffered technically. And I know Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 was a big, I guess, victim of that. Its performance was really shoddy for a lot of players.
Yeah,
I remember trying to play this. I was invited into the beta testing.
Oh, really?
And the game was
2010?
running. This would have been
2009.
Yeah, I think it would have been right after I came back from Denver.
To
live back in Salt Lake again. So I think it was 2010. It was like in the summer of 2010 or something, or maybe in the spring. I can't remember, but right around that time. And my buddy, who always tries to get me into MMOs. Kenny McLean was like, I got invited to the beta. I can invite
That's
you too.
right. He was big on 11.
And he was a huge 11 fan. And so he was like, let's play. So I get on there, and the game was running. I mean, I didn't have like the nicest PC in the world, but it certainly wasn't bad. I mean, I was
this
using
your Alienware?
Yeah. I was using it for video editing. I basically
and it was a gaming PC.
It was a gaming PC.
Not that old. Yeah, it was a good PC. It was a good
It was
one.
a decent PC. It should not have been like, this was not like I was trying to run it on like a 6 or 7 year old piece of tech.
Right.
And I was getting like maybe 10 to 12 frames per second.
I know that like the modelers would model like the coolest, like high polygon, like super cool sets.
This is true even of A Realm Reborn, actually.
Really?
They've shown like just millions of polygons in like a piece of fruit.
Jeez. Guys, don't do this.
On a table.
That processing power, that's rough.
Anyway, so Crystal Tools was a big part of it. The other part of it was, I just don't know how ambitious Hiromichi Tanaka and team really were in terms of like wanting to make a new MMO. They basically were just making Final Fantasy 11 again.
Yeah, another one. And 11 was such a huge success for the company. It made them so much money. I think they kind of felt like it wasn't that big of a deal if they just replicate that again and maybe do it a little cookie cutter, right? Phone it in, collect a paycheck and then work on the next game, right? And that's not how it went.
No. And so, there's kind of outdated game design concepts, or at least ways in which they might have been able to push it forward. But all of this complicated by the fact that Crystal Tools is lagging.
Yeah.
And it didn't end up being designed in such a way to where it lended itself well to the kind of game they were wanting to make. It was more over-optimized for what Final Fantasy 13 ended up becoming.
Yeah.
So anyway, we talked about that in more detail in our episode on what really happened to Final Fantasy versus 13, or I think maybe the title now is Final
15.
Fantasy 15 was doomed from the start or something like that.
Yeah, that one.
Anyway, the point is they were struggling on the development side so much to like get this game made that I don't know if they really had the bandwidth to be like communicating, or even if they had conceptually, thematically, like what they were going for as an overall piece to like help Nobuo Uematsu understand like this is the kind of music that is appropriate and that we want. And
here are the scenes, here are the characters, here's what they're like, here's what it's like, here's what happens. Yeah, it seems like they didn't
have any of that. And he says deliberately, I don't know how deliberate, deliberate maybe in the sense that they talked about it and they're like, just do what you want to do. Just be Uematsu. If you write Uematsu music, it's going to be fine.
That's part of the phone it in kind of nature of the whole game.
They were thinking, we don't know yet. We can't answer the questions we would typically answer. We can't communicate the things we would typically communicate with you about what we're looking for, because we don't know. We're not that far along. And so anyway, that does lead to what I agree is sort of a scatterbrained album here.
Okay.
Where it doesn't really like come together as like a storytelling piece, but just has a bunch of like one-off interesting Uematsu pieces that maybe the jigsaws don't fit so well together all the time.
Yeah.
But there's no bad track on it, I would say.
I don't think so.
So anyway, it's kind of funny. There were a couple of other quotes from him that I wanted to read here. He had a crisis right towards the end of the development. He says, right toward the end of production, there was this massive crisis where I lost the data for 15 tracks that were nearly completed.
No way.
I've been composing on computers for years now, but it was the first time anything like that had happened to me. So all the blood drained from my face. He ended up hiring like a data recovery service that salvaged the tracks, and nothing ended up being lost. But it sure taught me, he says, the value of regular backups. So yeah, he almost lost a pretty good chunk of the
15,
soundtrack.
That's a huge, because he did maybe 70% of the songs.
Yeah.
So this track is about 100. The soundtrack's about 100 songs, and he did probably 70 of them. 15 songs is like 25% of the whole album. So yeah, that's pretty crazy.
It's a lot. One other thing that he says that I just kind of wanted to keep in mind as we're listening to this is that there might be fans, he says, of my Final Fantasy work that are expecting the sort of sound I had back in Final Fantasy IX and earlier. If I produced that, though, then I'd be bound by what I used to be. So I try not to let that preoccupy me, and I just let whatever pops up come out. There's no point worrying over how other people will receive it. I can't compose the same way forever. I'm 10 years older now, after all. Even during composing, I could feel a bit how things had changed from my old Final Fantasy work. When you have a long career in music, your style tends to change you in ways that you never notice until afterward. And besides, nobody wants to do the same thing forever. So, a couple things to keep in mind. One, he didn't want to compose like he used to. Two, he wanted to write music he could perform in his Black Mages band. And three, they didn't have he didn't have much direction or communication.
Yeah,
he's just kind of
fault.
blindly writing Final Fantasy music for a game that he might have just some basic understanding of what's going on. All that said, came out pretty good. So
you know what's funny? You know what's funny though? When he did not write songs that would be fun to perform, he got to perform them.
That's true.
When he wrote songs so that he would be fun to perform them, the game flopped and no one cares. And I don't know. I wonder if he's ever gotten to actually perform any of those songs, unless it was just at a Black Mages concert.
Good question. I don't know. I haven't been to a Black Mages concert, and I haven't listened to all of their albums. I've heard like the early stuff. I listened to 3 of them. Yeah. But it's actually funny how unique the sound of the Black Mages is. I mean, just like the tones they choose, the drum kit they use, the
keyboard,
the keyboard,
the Dream
sound.
Theater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very like 80s prog rock feel to it.
It's
almost.
80s prog rock, but he favors the organ.
Yeah, that
like Dream Theater didn't really do the organ sound. Like Uematsu loves that organ
because it's his instrument. It's what he's playing, and so
that
he loves
sounds
the
more
solo
like Boston, Pink Floyd, like a little getting that organ in there.
So when we listen to some of these like battle pieces and stuff, it's a very, very different sound from what Soken ended up sort of doing with like the big drums, the more orchestral drums, kind of more of the modern big sort of fantasy or film score sound.
Yeah.
And I could see this going two ways for people. In the one sense, you have people who are sort of fatigued by that like Western Hollywood film score sound in games.
I've been feeling that lately, especially in like movie trailers. Like they all
movie trailer music is actually legitimately terrible now.
Yeah.
it's all the same thing. And I think almost the biggest freaking movie to blame for that is Inception. It's all got to have like the big boom.
Yes.
Boom,
the trombones blaring.
Anyway, and Hans Zimmer is obviously a big, like the biggest composer for Hollywood movies. And so a lot of his sound has sort of just become homogenous across like all action, adventure, fantasy stuff. So on the one sense, I could see where someone hears like a Realm Reborn's like sound, and it's sort of like big, epic, sort of like modern scoring techniques. And be like, I'm not like really into that. You hear Uematsu's, which is very different, very older sounding, more prog rock 80s style, or his like signature sort of like soft piano, sort of, I don't know if melodramatic's the right word, but a little bit sappy, sort of like ballad sound to it, right?
Something that could be sung by one of those, like a very 90s sounding singer.
Yeah, and where they might, like,
Celine Dion,
lean in that direction in terms of which they prefer. Having listened to both pretty extensively, both through playing A Realm Reborn and now through listening to this a couple times, there are like going to be areas where like I in this instance, maybe I prefer this. In this instance, I prefer this. But overall, I would say I'm more on the Realm Reborn side. Mostly because I feel like it feels like it's contributing to the storytelling and like the identity of what that game is. And this feels less attached because, I mean, it literally wasn't. you can just feel it, right?
You can tell.
Anyway, before we get started on the track list, was there anything?
No, just the reference that the track is called Before Meteor because when they shut down the servers for 1.0 before the reboot came out, reboot, what did you even call it?
Yeah, it's
the new version.
It's kind of like a remake, but a reboot's probably the right
reboot
word for it.
They had a meteor appear in the sky that slowly got closer and closer, and the players didn't know what was going to happen. But as opposed to telling people, hey, on this day, your game is over. Like, you're done. We're turning off the game because no one bought it, well, except for you guys. But they got the feeling of it through the narrative of the game that this world is about to end. I actually kind of really like the way that they chose to transition from one world into the other. But they did it through this meteor that it gets closer and closer and closer, and before you know it, boom, it hits the world, and they had this whole kind of trailer, this movie that plays when it hits, and all the characters kind of go away. And then somehow many of them find themselves in a whole new world, and that's a Realm Reborn. That's the new place. But that's the reference. That's why it's called that. One of the things I really liked about the FF11 discussion that we had about that soundtrack was the cool creative things that they did that the fans found really meaningful and interesting and fun. This is like along those lines. This is one of those things where the world was getting darker, more and more enemies were spawning. The characters were having to, more and more difficulties with their campaigns. They had to band together closer, and you could tell, and this meteor's coming closer. And then when it hits, they really turned it into this magical transformation into a new world, as opposed to what they could have done, which is, guys, we're just turning off the game. We're not going to put any more thought to this. It's not worth our time. They actually put in some effort in helping, bridge these loyal original game players into this new world in a way that they liked as well. And it's kind of sad that I'll never get to experience that the way that it was originally experienced.
Yeah. Really, really kind of clever way that they went about just starting over on it, but not like losing the good parts that were there.
Right.
Still,
they repurposed a lot of assets.
Characters and a lot of the original story is preserved, but it's just a way better.
It's just different. It's just better.
All right. So
first track, number 1, the Prelude.
The Final Fantasy Prelude.
This is what I really liked. I started expecting, because as we've done these later Final Fantasy games, I've been expecting them to do something unique and weird. Oh, they put a twist on the Prelude. Oh, it's a little different. The Prelude is wonder-filled enough. It is such a good song on its own. You don't have to do much to it to make it kind of have this more mysterious flavor, right? And I can tell that's what Uematsu did. He's just like, no, we're just doing my Prelude. We're doing the song I wrote. It doesn't need to be played in a weird way. It doesn't need different keys. It doesn't need to change, modes or phases. It just do the song, like just straight up. And it's perfect. It's so good.
The note that I took down for this, I mean, he's using the harp there, which is like the classic instrument.
Yes.
But it does bring in a lot of pretty like super synthetic sort of sounds. I think it's going to come in here.
Oh, that's like the MIDI crystal sound. Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting because up to this point, the only games that really had that like synthetic, like strong synthetic feel to the Prelude were Final Fantasy 7s, and then Final Fantasy 10s, which was really different.
That's right. 10s was quite different.
This one is sort of combining that harp with the synthetic sound, but I thought that was an interesting choice for Final Fantasy 14, which is very much kind of rooted more in the, I don't want to call it medieval necessarily. There's tech involved in it, but maybe more of that like in-between space of the Final Fantasy 12 kind of world or something.
Yeah,
like that.
That's right.
Right.
Where it still feels feudal and medieval, but like they got lasers, airships,
stuff like that. But I thought that was interesting, and it's a really cool.
It's
a really cool vibe.
I loved it.
Different.
I just didn't feel like they did anything unique with it necessarily. Other
Yeah,
than
no,
what
I
you're
think
talking
you're.
about.
I think you're right.
But I like it. This is
Yeah.
really cool. This is the best version of the Prelude, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Is this one right
This
here.
one? You like this one the
I
best?
really like this.
Wow.
I really like this. Like I dig this a lot. I like what they did in 12 and 10 and you know, some of the other ones where it's like different, you know, and even like Tactics or well, 13 didn't have it at all. Right?
13 didn't have it.
Yeah. So you'd think that they wouldn't, that they were trending towards, we're going to use the old stuff, but we're going to really make it, you know, different. And Uematsu's like, no, we're doing this.
Yeah.
This is just really cool. It sounds really special.
It's great. I like it quite a lot. And then you have the Final Fantasy theme as the second one. I mean, they call it opening theme, but again, it's like they didn't have this in 13. They didn't.
No.
These classic like mainstay.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy themes, and they've got them as the very first two.
The very first songs. And that's where I wrote, this is like Uematsu's just doing his greatest hits, right? He's just like, I'm not even changing much. We're just doing my original music. That's what FF14 will be. I was wrong about that, by the way. But as I started listening to the soundtrack, that's kind of what I felt. I was like, oh, he's just doing his greatest hits.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this song is so cool. This is not my favorite version of this song, but it is beautiful. Anytime I hear this song, it makes me feel things. I just love it.
Yep. Love this theme. It's fantastic. Let's move to... Okay, so it kind of the way it was for me on Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
My list was very front-loaded again.
Okay.
And then I started skipping a lot more later. So I've got number 3, Navigator's Glory, on here. And that's because this was the theme of one of the starter areas, Limsa Lominsa.
Limsa Lominsa, yeah.
And I just wanted to point this one out because this is completely different from the theme of Limsa Lominsa in Realm Reborn.
Really?
Like, it's not even the same melody.
I actually like this
totally
song.
different piece.
Interesting.
So if you listen to them side by side, that's kind of where I had the most fun in this listen, was like, wait a minute. That doesn't sound like what I remember being a Realm Reborn player mostly. I played 14.1.0, but only that beta version, and I was like, this is so bad that like I can't freaking do it.
Almost unplayable.
Almost unplayable.
Yeah.
So I didn't play it when it launched, like officially. But this song sounds nothing like the Limsa Lominsa that I know from A Realm Reborn. So,
and not knowing anything about Limsa Lominsa, this song is awesome. I really like this song. In fact, there's 3 main songs. So there are some like motif references to that loosely bind the whole soundtrack together. One of them was with the last track in this playlist, which it should not be the last one, by the way. It's kind of the theme of the whole game.
Oh, right.
And I can't remember what it's called. It's called... Dang it. Why didn't I write it down? That was really dumb of me.
Was it like
Answers. It's called Answers.
Answers.
That's like the theme of the game, right?
Yep.
And you get some of those... every now and then you'll get a little bit of a motif for that one. The other one are the three areas, the 3 towns.
Yep.
Limsa Lominsa and Girdania, and then what's the other one?
Girdania, and then
Ulda. So every now and then you'll get references to these themes, right? Not very often.
Yeah.
But this is the first one of those, and it's really cool. I really like this song. This does remind me a little bit of something like maybe 10 or 12.
Yeah, a little bit. 12, I definitely hear a little bit.
Yeah.
My next one is Freedom, track number 4. My note for this track was that I imagine that this vibe is important for an MMO experience.
Yeah.
This idea of freedom to like kind of go into this big world and explore and try and figure out what to do.
Yeah.
The MMO experience, I think, is really meant to be open in that sense.
Yeah, go where you want. Yeah, treat it as though you really were here. Whatever interests you, go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is also maybe another reason why Crystal Tools was not the best. Was not the best engine for it. But also, my note here was just I love the mood. Like the mood that this sets is just awesome. Yeah, it's great. Perfect for an MMO.
The next one I have is number 5 on Windy Meadows.
I skipped this one. This is the first one I did not
And just
include.
because I wanted to point out, the note that I took was this feels very Uematsu-esque to me, like especially like post-square Uematsu. That flute with this percussion. It sounds like Lost Odyssey.
It's
It
old
sounds-
folk music.
It sounds. It's very much. I identify this sound with his post-Square years.
Okay.
And but not to say that it doesn't, in its own right, have elements like melodically and structurally
Yeah.
to what he wrote at Square.
It could have gone in FF5
this-
or 9, yeah.
Yeah, it just the sound where he actually started using like recording real
Yeah.
instruments and using like high end, like sampling.
Yeah.
This is kind of the identity he established for himself,
Interesting.
I feel like, in his Mistwalker titles and things of that nature. It also sounds a little bit like FF11.
It does. That's true.
I
That's
get like
totally
that
true.
vibe from this too. But I want to point out, and this is going to come in a little bit more later, the difference between how Uematsu uses percussion and how Silken uses percussion. Very, very big differences between them. And especially this part of the melody here sounds a lot like Lost Odyssey to me. Okay.
Cool. Number 6.
Number 6, Nail of the Heavens.
I did number 6 in part because my note here is,
Black Mages.
haha, what is happening? Question mark. After the first 4 tracks, after the first 5 tracks, I wasn't expecting, like we gave the whole intro in this whole video talking about, oh yeah, Uematsu wants to perform these. He has a rock band. He decided to turn the whole soundtrack into prog rock. Yes, but I wasn't expecting this at all. This really came as a huge surprise to me when all of a sudden this starts playing.
Yep.
And this is all over the soundtrack.
Yep.
You get this prog rock all over. And while I like it, this is a good song. And like you know me, I like good. I play guitar. I like rock music. I don't think, other than this one, I selected a single one of these into my like top favorite soundtracks. So that's cool though. I gotta say, when you do the pinch harmonic with the whammy bar, it's just like, oh, that's just wild. I love it. Like I'm a Zakk Wylde fan, so that's fun stuff. But really, this does not make me think of Final Fantasy. Now, here's one thing that I have to bring up though. Final Fantasy 7 and 8, and
They do have
even
that,
earlier
yeah.
ones, they have music that is supposed to be rock sounding music, but the guitar is a sample PS1 guitar, and so I can kind of, when you hear it like this, it's just the Final Fantasy-ness kind of wears off. And I would assume maybe that's what he means when he says, I'm not who I was. I don't just want to write the music I used to. Yeah. I'm a rock star, baby. This is what I do now. This is what I want to perform. This is what I love. And so, get on or get out, right? And it's like, okay, that's cool, but I miss the old Uematsu,
Yeah.
This is a cool song. by the way.
I kind of feel similarly. It's more so that like, while I love the musicianship and like the technicality of it,
prog rock.
There's something about the mixing and the sound of it that I'm like not the biggest fan of, and I don't know if it's that. I don't want to get too technical here. Like the way that they are recording and mixing the drum kit versus like the bass guitar and like how they're all meshing together.
I see.
Versus like where a lot of prog rock and metal today has gone, where they have gotten so good at like really cutting through
Balancing,
mixes with those instruments to where you're like very cleanly like hearing every single freaking thing that's happening, and it all feels very close. That I prefer more as far as like production and mixing goes. But I mean, it's great musicianship.
Oh, very much.
Okay, then I have number 7, and the only reason I took this is because it's called "In the Shadow of the Colossus."
Very good name. Very lovely title.
But it's another kind of prog rocky piece with his there he goes on his keyboard, right?
See, the Japanese title is "Chasing the Rising Sun." So it's really I don't know why these names are so different.
Yeah.
One of them might be descriptive for what happens in the game, and the other one's descriptive for the track of the song.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do like this sort of beginning portion of this though. That kick drum sort of starting slow, and then we get the snare coming in. It's kind of like building up a little bit. But you do have that very synthetic. I think I wouldn't necessarily describe it this way, but maybe others would, because it sounds old. That cheesy synth on top of it.
Yeah, this right here.
This, right?
Yeah.
That I'm not like the biggest fan of that sound, is what I'm trying to say.
Me neither.
Others
It
who
does
love
feel-
love 70s and 80s metal
Yeah.
will love this.
Yeah.
And you're not like wrong for loving it. It's just like not my favorite sound.
Sort of like the Van Halen kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. I do like that the guitar is pretty subdued beneath, the melody. And so you're still getting that. You also don't know the time signature initially when that guitar is playing and you're hearing kind of an offbeat happen. And it's like, what's going on? And until that snare comes
like
in,
syncopated
and you're
or
like,
something,
oh,
yeah.
I get it now. But it takes a while for the track to kind of make sense as it's kind of layering and building up.
That's pretty cool.
I actually do like that. Yeah.
My next one was number 9.
9, Girdania theme.
Born of the Boughs, and this is the theme of Gridania. I wrote here also a totally different sound from the theme of Gridania in A Realm Reborn. And I also wrote that I prefer the Realm Reborn version of Gridania. So Limsa Lominsa is like a seaport.
Yeah.
Gridania is like a forest kingdom, and then Ul'dah is like a desert kingdom.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
This
as you're listening to that, I think you can imagine this is more of like an enchanted forest feel to it.
It's almost like the forest right next to Alexandria in Final Fantasy IX.
Exactly.
Yep, that's what it feels like. Yeah, I get that.
There were several places on this soundtrack where I got the 9, particularly the 9 vibes, but anyway, it's very, very different.
Yep, this is good, and this is another one where you get a lot of motifs that will be spun off of this track later on.
Yeah. My next
number
one,
10. I had number 10.
10. Okay.
I actually have a lot. Unfortunately, I kind of picked a lot, but we can go through them.
That's
quickly.
Okay. Which one is this one called?
This one is called "In the Depths of the Dark Land," or in your version, "Whisper of the Land."
This is a good one.
I felt like this probably conveyed, as I was getting deeper into the soundtrack, I was like, this seems to be conveying the mood that Uematsu is trying to convey. Like, it's got that medieval, but minimalist, like heavy, like you mentioned before, with just the simple drums and a flute, right? It's like kind of his theme, or the way he writes music now. But this it feels, there's a string going on there too, that Japanese string.
It's kind of like,
I can't remember what that's called.
It's not a sitar, but it's something like that.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Yeah, so you're getting a little bit of that too. Anyways, this one captivated me a little bit.
That's pretty good.
Then my next one's not till 14.
Okay, so 14 would be the next one then.
Okay. This one.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is.
What in the world is happening?
I'm pretty sure this is Soken, and it's meant to be bad on purpose.
I know.
Yeah.
But all I want to know is what is happening at this point in the game. That this makes any sense. Now,
this sounds very much like the memes where like Jurassic Park or like Titanic, where they'll have someone playing a bad flute trying to
like a recorder, like the most basic instrument, like a 4th grader trying to play. When you said there's not a single bad track on the album, I understand that probably fits, but I think there might actually at least be one bad track on the album.
I imagine,
like if I just put this on shuffle and that came up, I'd be like.
I imagine this is for some gag sort of like joke sort of part, or
probably like the Mughals throw a parade and some kids playing the music.
My next one was the Twin Faces of Fate, number 15. This is the theme of Ul'dah.
Ul'dah.
And Ul'dah was my favorite starting area of A Realm Reborn. I tried and then quit A Realm Reborn, I think 4 times before I finally stuck through and actually committed, like no matter what, I'm going to finish this. But Ul'dah ended up being my favorite of the starting locations. And this is, again, a completely different feel and vibe.
Really?
Just not even close.
Is it the same kind of place,
ballpark.
though? Like it's a deserty place, even in Realm Reborn?
I think, it's a desert kingdom. Okay. So it's more or less the same area, because when the meteor hits, the player characters are sort of like transported 5 years into the future of the world.
Okay.
So it's kind of like it's the same world with the same kingdoms and the same people.
Okay.
But nobody remembers the events of the meteor. It's like everyone's memories have been collectively wiped of that event. Like it never happened.
There's an anime called Big O, and it was something similar. Except in that one, it was like all of a sudden there's these huge mech warriors around, and everyone's like, where did these come from? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. Because what they're trying to do is wipe everyone's memory of the previous game. It never happened, people.
This is a good example, though. If you go listen to the difference between this version of Ulda's theme and Soken's version in The Realm Reborn, how quiet and subdued that percussion is.
Yeah, it's like hand.
Compared to the big, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not brazen, that's not the right word, but just like, it's going for that more like classical epic feel, or like maybe modern classical epic feel.
Is it like timpanis or taikos or
it's
what
taikos?
Is it? It's taikos.
It's big taiko drums, and it just gives it a totally different vibe. This is very subdued, very quiet, very kind of peaceful.
Yeah.
And Ulda is much more big and like kind of a grand city where like a lot of people are coming for trade, and you know what I'm saying? So like this feels like a village theme.
This feels small.
The other one feels like a big city theme.
And which one fits better?
Because
I don't know.
Is up to you to decide. We're not deciding that today.
When does a village become a city? I don't know. 21 is my next one.
I have 16, which is Twilight over Thanalan. And I wrote that this feels very classic Uematsu. His little... I'm not using the sappy in a bad way. I like it. His little sappy piano string themes, which are my favorite of his tracks that he writes. I think they evoke a lot of emotion. And
he's
in
good at
particular, a very specific type of emotion that I tie to the identity of Final Fantasy. But this feels very classic RPG, old school RPG feel to me. And I like it a lot. And it's very much his way of structuring melody. And then I had 18, which is just more Black Mage's sound. Quicksand is the name of it. See, he really features his, well, it's not so much in this one. There's one where I wrote, like, he's going crazy on the keyboard in this.
He likes his solos.
He's featuring his keyboard solos a lot. I'm sure he was looking forward to playing them.
Man.
But like, the tone of that guitar, right?
Yeah.
It just immediately feels like it dates the music, even though it's not technically that dated. I mean, this is 2010. But this feels like the type of guitar tone you would have heard from an 80s rock band.
I believe this exact tone matches Styx. So Styx, well, this song would be, well, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. It's like that. Or the Come Sail Away With Me. It's that kind of guitar. And that's 70s. Like, that's way old.
A lot of modern metal and rock bands, well, at least the ones that are very highly produced, the way that they structure their tones is so meticulous to where they can get very fast attack transients, and when they're not playing it, you're not going to hear that buzzing. It's going to be you're going to be able to like stop playing, and it's going to go dead silent. You get that really hard cut.
It's like a limiter
of limiters on it, and they actually don't distort as much as they used to.
Right,
it's actually less distortion.
That. Yeah, that's crazy.
But they're cutting through specific like frequencies.
Yeah,
to where when it's combined with the bass tone, you'll get that distorted feel
it's like
out
a
of
round.
it.
Oh, I see.
Right? Like you'll feel like it's really heavy and distorted. But in order for you to hear that bass distortion tone, you can't have the lead guitar or the rhythm guitars be crunching so hard. So they run it through like so many different steps. And this is much more just like, I don't know, maybe they have 3 pedals
80s,
that they're working on.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Instead of like a series of 12.
Well, the prog rock guys really take it to a ridiculous level when it comes to like all the ways they can complicate. Yet, because it's so complex, they have to do what you're saying. They have to isolate channels and make sure that there's no competing noise. Otherwise, it's just going to sound muddy, right? Yeah. They couldn't really do this before. It's a thing. I remember the first band I listened to where I was like, the guitar isn't even that distorted. It was Iced Earth.
Yes.
I was like, these guys are going hard, but like, it's like the distortion isn't even at 11. You know, I would
Yeah.
assume everything has to be 11. You know, bro, that's real rock. It's like, no, dude. Then you can't hear like the
Yeah.
the quality, the intricacies. Like, you know, you got to turn that distortion down so that you can actually let it come through. Let the drums take care of all that deep, like palm muting stuff.
Yeah.
Let the drums and the bass take care of that. You don't need the guitar to do everything, right?
Right.
Let it do what it's good at.
Exactly.
And I mentioned the Come Sail Away, like, you know, sticks. That was for at the beginning of the song. Once the bass and the drums come in, it's a little more 80s. It's a
Yeah.
little less 70s, more 80s.
Yeah. You said number 20?
More Van Halen.
20 was your next
21.
one? Oh,
21.
Okay, so I had 20 as well.
Oh, okay. 21 is what I
Unspoken. Another really nice slow piano piece is what I wrote. And this is, again, to me, like a hallmark Uematsu
That slow piano.
structurally. Yeah, like the way he does his slow piano pieces. It's probably going to be when it comes into the melody a little more. Yeah, with the strings. Again, a little bit more indicative of his post-square
Yeah.
sound era. Like, but you do have that
I like
little
that pad. Yeah.
That's almost like the train sound of Final Fantasy
Oh,
VII.
yeah. You're right. It sounds like a lo-fi sample.
It's kind of cool.
That's funny. Yeah, I like it.
Anyway, you had 21.
21 I had, so I did not originally put this, but I did look into what the most listened to
Is this the most
songs-
listened to?
This is not the most listened to. It is one of, though. This is
I
one
think
of
this
the
is
most
one of them.
listened to.
This sounds like one of them that survived into Realm
Oh,
Reborn.
really? That might
That
be
ended
why
up
then.
being used in a Realm Reborn. It sounds like a Realm Reborn track, but not with as heavy percussion
Yeah.
as is typical of the difference between the way Uematsu and Soken write. But
This sounds like it could have gone in FF13 or something like
yeah,
that.
it sounds like one of the symphonic or orchestral battle themes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not like guitar. Yeah.
Exactly. I did have 22 Starlight and Cell Swords. And my note on this was classic Uematsu genre hopping.
Yes.
He's getting into his jazz brain here a little bit, which I always enjoy. In fact,
that
is this
organ,
the,
too. That organ.
Yeah. Get that stand-up bass, right. That
Yeah.
jazzy kind of bass. Some horns.
The organ isn't doing much yet, but I heard it, and it's going to come back.
And you get the drum
Nah, I
kit
guess
come
not.
in. It's just a nice
Just a nice
jazzy
yeah.
sound to it. I liked that quite a bit.
Yeah, I like it too.
My next was 26.
24 is mine.
24, okay.
But here's what's so good about it. 24 might be my favorite song on the whole soundtrack.
Oh, really?
So click it. I have a few time codes for you. So just listen to the beginning, right? Get a feel for what this song's doing, right?
Yeah.
You
Sounds
think
a little bit like the last one you picked, 21.
Penon's
As
Aloft.
far as like the
Yeah, that's right.
orchestral battle type thing.
Now go to 115. Like 114, yeah, just like right before it. Now listen.
Oh. Nice.
I'm like, what's happening here? What's happening? I didn't know what to think of this, right? This is interesting. But in and of itself, with the intro and with this, I'm like, but you're going to have to do a little more than that. Like, that's a little, okay, now go to 140.
Oh, we're almost there. 3 seconds,
'Kay.
2 seconds.
So yeah, they let this kind of ghostly tune hum along a little, and then it turns into this.
Oh, wow.
Isn't this cool?
That's
like
almost like,
Nightmare Before Christmas or
yeah,
something.
like a spooky carnival. or
Yes,
something.
exactly. And I'm like, this is actually really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like this song a lot the more it goes. Now go to 258.
Yeah, 258.
This is such a cool sound. I love
There's
this
another
sound.
track on the soundtrack that sounds like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like a lot. So it's
Actually,
kind of
there is,
interesting.
and even the singing is like
Yes.
it. I put it on my list. Okay, now here we are. Turns into this. Same song.
It's just going to be a Kefka sounding thing. Oh no, that's kind
It
of
sounded
cool.
that way at first, but it let it cook.
Let it develop.
It's just so funny that the same song, we're only 3 minutes in, the same song goes through so many different modes, and it turns into something completely different. Like what we just heard, that ghostly kind of, carnival, and that just moves into this, right? And this song's like 5.5 minutes long. This is one of the longer songs on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But this is more or less.
I would imagine this is probably some kind of boss fight or something. And
then it goes back. It kind of loops a little bit. But like, not expecting this at all. This is the variance of the soundtrack expressed in one track. It's this track. And it's not showing, it's not the prog rock or the jazz, but it is showing like that Nobuo Uematsu he's got the range and he's not afraid to use it. We'll just put it that way. We can go to number 26 now.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Where once again, my note is the variety in musical genre is kind of wild. Right, he is all over the place. I recognized
this one right away from Realm Reborn. So this one got reused in a Realm Reborn as well.
Nice.
It's different. This one focuses a little bit more on like the xylophone kind of sound.
Yeah.
And they use a little more like strings for the melody.
Okay.
It has a xylophone in the other version of it, but they're arranged a little differently. But this did also survive into a Realm Reborn, and it's for your house. It's like the house that you buy where you go.
It feels
and
very
like,
homely.
Yeah. That's the theme used in like the player's home when they're like organizing outfits and like doing whatever they do in their house.
This is a really fun one. I like this one.
Yeah, I like this one too. Sorry, they don't use strings; they use flutes more.
Really?
In the Realm Reborn.
That feels homely as well. The flute. What is it? James Cameron? No. Was it him or was it the guy who did the music for Titanic? I can't remember if it was the director or the musician. Can't remember his name at the moment. James,
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Said that the flute is the most human-sounding instrument, basically. So it's like that's a good choice.
28, no quarter.
No quarter.
This is where I wrote. There he goes on his keyboard.
This sounds so Black Mages. It's ridiculous.
I said I feel like I associate this sound with the Aquabats.
Oh, really?
When it really gets going here in a second, it felt like an Aquabats sound or a song to me.
That like ska up
yeah, it's gonna come in here in a minute.
That's kind of cool.
Maybe I wrote the wrong track down because this is not feeling Aquabats to me. I must have written down the wrong track number.
But
he is going off. He is going off on his keyboard on this one. Let me see if it's the one around it. Either 27. Okay, it's not 27.
That's a cool song though, so far.
This is kind of similar.
Yeah, a lot of the soundtrack kind of sounds like this.
Anyway, maybe I was thinking of a specific instrument, not the whole sound of it. Like that kind of organ
that sequence erase. I kind of feel that a little bit from the beginning of the Floating Eye of Death.
that sort of like when it does with that like bendiness to it.
Yeah.
I think it's that I was thinking.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I haven't listened to them in forever. Number 30 is where I've got 30 and 31.
So 30 and 31, okay.
Yeah. So 30 is called It All Starts With My Own Hands. Just a nice, calm, soothing track.
Yep.
Loved it.
He's good with his piano pieces.
Oh,
I always like his solo piano. Well, this is not a solo piano, but his piano stuff is great. And it translates really well. In. Yep.
This sounds like It All Starts With My Own Hands. And then 31 I have, the very next track. And this one's called By Design.
I don't remember this one.
Just fun. Yeah. Every game needs songs like this.
Imagine this is used like multiple times for scenes in which you need this feel to it, specifically if they're trying to like lighten up the tone a little bit.
Sure. Like a character comes in and just is being funny.
They're kind of a clown or whatever.
Yeah. And then 33, actually. I had 33, which is called Sweating or When a Tree Falls.
Again, I just feel like I'm going to point this
similar
out.
Feel.
I'm going to point out his use of percussion. Like he has a very different way that he uses percussion than Soken does, and we'll really point it out. But I'm just, as we're going through it, just like listen to. It's kind of soft.
Yeah.
Right. Even in like the big stuff, he's either using a drum kit or it's like these types of things just like maybe played with a little more force. Okay. But it's not like the huge drums that
Yeah.
you get in a lot of like modern composing, where they you just like,
Percussion
Right.
has become like the most important thing in music.
Yeah.
And back in like 70s and 80s, the percussion didn't really shine through as much.
Yeah.
People talk a lot about how good Neil Peart was for Rush. And I'm like, yes, he's a great drummer. I get that. Have you heard some of the, the guys that are playing now?
Playing now,
Like
are
Neil Peart's drums
unbelievable.
sat so in the background of
Yes,
everything, and
yes.
I get it. He was probably extremely good, especially live. I've heard. I never got to see that, but like, dude, the things people do on drums now is just out of this world, and the precision and the way
Yes.
that they can record it and capture that sound and how it doesn't compete. It's just wild. It's just unreal.
Yeah.
And it's just something they couldn't do back in the 70s. They just couldn't do it.
And he kind of comes from that time, and so his style of using percussion is just
It's background.
it's just
softer.
more in the background.
Yeah.
And it's good. I'm not
No,
criticizing this. I'm just like pointing out the difference in style. And
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that will prefer this to make a huge feel like everything's epic as fetch, and it goes to 11 all the time.
The bass, like, penetrates your soul every time it hits, because you're just
like
like it's
shaking
so,
your whole
every car
body.
has massive subwoofers.
Exactly.
It's just it's a different time.
I have 36 as my next one. Where the Heart Is. And
yeah, that's good.
I wrote another lovely Uematsu piano piece. Which
He's got a lot of these.
They always end up being my favorites from him. And it's going to bring in a flute into this one, I believe, too, for the melody. Again, I could hear this in something like Lost Odyssey or perhaps Fantasian or
Terror Battle.
I don't
Just
know.
kidding.
I don't know what Terror Battle, because I haven't played.
Just kidding.
But here it is, his flute. Really pretty.
Yeah, I like it.
And
It does. It feels like home.
nobody does melody.
This is good home music. right
like Uematsu.
here.
Like
Yeah.
you hear an Uematsu
Yeah.
melody, you know it's an Uematsu melody.
That's true.
Nobody
That's totally
writes
true.
like him. 38 is my next one.
Okay.
This one is Ethereal Slumber. And I wrote that I feel like this kind of track used to be really common in games and isn't
Yeah.
anymore. And I don't know how I can justify that initial opinion. It's just like, I felt like this almost like underwater feel.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, it's like
I'm getting a little
every
Donkey Kong
game
country.
had an underwater level or something.
Yes. Every.
During a certain time period, and they had a track
it's
like
true.
this in it.
Yeah.
And I feel like this track, the one that you used to expect in like every game, is like, you don't have it. You don't like see it that much anymore.
There aren't as many underwater levels in modern games. That's true.
I miss this vibe.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it more. I'd like to see it have a strong comeback.
That's fun.
Number 39, The Echo. I also feel like this one got reused in A Realm Reborn is what I put down. But
Okay.
I couldn't like nail down specifically which one it is. But I know
It's that creepy
I know
feel
it's
again.
in there. I know it's in there. This one, I'm like 99.9% certain that I've heard this in A Realm Reborn. It's kind of like that, ooh, we're not sure what's coming up. We got to like talk about it real quick. It's used a lot in a lot of different cutscenes. Fever Dream, number 40. I said there's a crazy cool delay on this one.
Ah, yes.
Not necessarily a
This
reverb
song.
or echo. It's the delay specifically.
Yeah.
He'll play it once and then it just like
repeats it.
repeats, softer.
Softer and softer.
And then it turns into like a straight Final Fantasy IX track. So very, very long delay on that one. It's just very cool.
He's not in a hurry with
Boom.
this song.
Boom, boom, boom. Like that's the period, the interval between the delay.
Yeah.
And he just lets it go for like, it sounds very mysterious.
Yeah.
It's very cool. And then it turns into FF9. This is like
That's funny.
straight Final Fantasy IX.
You're right.
In the second continent you go to, at the what is it? The Summoner's Village.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Black Mage Village. I can't remember.
Not the Black Mage one, but the Summoner one where you meet Eiko.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
I should know it.
I don't know what that instrument is.
Yeah.
But that was like the lead instrument in FF9 and a lot of things.
Oh, that's funny.
Then I have 40 as well. Fever Dream. Oh, sorry. No, that was the one we just did.
We just did that.
My next one's 45.
42 is my next one.
42.
It's called Melancholy or Sacred Bonds. I like the atmosphere that this is creating. Just this as well as some of the previous track, like 40. He's not in a hurry.
Nope.
And this is the kind of music that would be more memorable to me. A lot of the more bombastic stuff, it's difficult, and especially a lot of his prog rock stuff.
That's the
It's
word
really
I was looking
difficult
for
for
earlier.
me.
Bombastic. That's
Yeah,
what I was
there
trying
you
to
go.
think of.
It kind of all runs together. You know, it's difficult for me to isolate one from the other. This kind of stuff, though, you know, it's different enough. It feels nice.
It's just so recognizably Uematsu melody. As soon as the melody comes in, it's like, yep. And one of these days, I'm just gonna like actually break down like what is the Uematsu melody, like what is the structure
That
behind
right there, what he just did.
how he.
Very Uematsu.
There's another track coming a little later.
This
that
is cool.
is
I love this.
almost identical. He does an almost identical little phrase or move to what would come later in a Fantasian track.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna show the two, but he
Nice.
uses the same, probably you'd call it positions and like movements, but like. It's so crazy that it doesn't feel like, oh, that's the same melody as this game or something. But you can see like, oh, that vibe feels like FF9.
Yeah.
Or that, you know. So it's not like it's repetitive in the sense that he's reusing the same melody. It's just, he's reusing the same structure to where it like, unless it's a similar feeling, but it's a different
but it's
melody.
a whole different thing.
I don't know how he does it. It's really, really crazy.
Yeah.
But it's what gives him his signature. And one of these days, I'm going to
43
do
is
a
my next
video
one.
on how he does that.
And I like how a lot of these songs kind of develop, like that last one, how it gets bigger, and you get that same melody, but just done in a more I'm going to say more beautiful way, in a beautiful way. We'll just put it that way.
Oh, this one's nice.
This one feels just really. This one would feel at home in an older Final Fantasy game, I think.
I love that classical, almost like nylon string guitar in the back. It's nice. I can't tell. Is that a nylon or is that a half and half? I used to have a half and half.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Half the strings were steel, half the strings
bottom
were nylon.
3 were nylon.
It's almost like one of those kinds of deals. I don't know if that was on purpose,
guitars?
though. I wonder if someone bought a nylon string and then the strings broke and then they just replaced them with steel
because
strings.
they didn't know. That's funny.
I don't know if that's like a legit thing that anyone does, where half the guitar is one and half
Steel has more tension. You got to have a guitar that can handle it. Do you still have that guitar, by the way?
No, that was my first ever guitar. That I have no idea what happened to it. Anyway.
Okay, there's fun,
nice
fun,
piece.
slow song, and then 45.
45 is my next one too, and this is
Okay,
From the Heart. Classic Uematsu sappy song is what I wrote. He uses the same piano trill in this. This is the one I was just talking about. As a song called Gravity on the. I'll point it out.
okay. I like this song, but my note for this is that some of these songs would be better as lower quality midis. And this song, I
can
think,
see what you mean.
Exactly. This song would actually be really good.
All right, I'm going to turn it up for this.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so we're going to go back. Okay, sorry. Go back a little further. So that little trill right there. Da na 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 na. Here it comes. You hear that? Da na 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 na.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to a song called Gravity from the Fantasian soundtrack. And I'm going to point out how he does exactly the same thing. So here it is. This is my favorite track on the Fantasian
Oh, really?
soundtrack. I really like this one. It's another example of his great piano stuff. But there's a part in this. I should have written the time code, but I think it's when here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. So I'm going to point out here. Dun, dun. So it's when he repeats that phrase the second time, he's going to do a little trill on it.
Okay.
And it's exactly the same one. Here it comes.
Ah, interesting. Right? I feel like he's done that before in older games as well. It's almost the same pitch.
There it is.
That's
it's like the same notes.
Yeah,
just like one maybe is an octave below.
Yeah.
But it's the same exact fetching thing. Anyway, he likes to do that. Another kind of signature of his structure and style. Let's see.
48.
48, okay. Which
like
one's this
that?
one?
I didn't like that instrument there that was just playing. If it was a MIDI, it would have been better. Tranquility is what this song is called, 48. Or A Moment of Stillness. So this is another one. This was not on my original list. This is one of the more popular ones from the soundtrack, really? Is this song. So I wanted to make sure that we gave it a chance.
This one sounds like Gravity, too. It's just that piano, Uematsu piano.
Yeah.
It's him. You immediately recognize it, you know?
And it's not super complicated. It's not super
no, but it's
complex.
Nice. It's really nice.
Very nice.
This is my favorite of his music. The stuff like this.
That's why the piano collections for his music are always so special.
I love the piano collections.
Yeah. If I walk into any building and this is the song playing, I'm calm. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I want to stay here.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
Yeah, I don't have another one till number 55. So.
See, my next one is 52. And this one is Moonfire Fair.
Moonfire Fair, or
and I wrote
Guden Festival.
Genre hopping again.
Yes.
in his way. There's a little more like bossa nova feel to it or something.
Oh, sure.
I don't know if that's technically the right musical term, but you get that South American sort of like beat.
Yeah, with the maracas or the shakers.
And here it comes. That little piano lead melody there. My next one was 59, but
it's
you
like
said
a
yours
club.
was...
It's like a private club.
Yeah. You said yours was 55?
And then 59 from me as well.
What's this one
55
called?
is called In the Heat of the Crimson Flames, or Conflagration.
This is more of like, it's a battle theme, but it's a not so serious battle
it's
theme.
A persona. It's a Persona 4.
It might be,
Persona 3.
It might be a battle against like a rival or ally who's like testing you, or
yes.
in a mini game or something.
Yeah, that's right, in a mini game.
I don't know if that's how it was used. That's just the vibe it gives to me.
Just once again, though, he's got that funk guitar kind of going there. Once again, illustrating the just how different this whole soundtrack is.
Yep.
We can move on to 59.
59 is the next one for me too, and this is
Chocobo.
Bow Down.
Yeah.
This one is reused in A Realm Reborn. I think nearly identically to this one. I don't even know if they changed it much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Chocobo theme for this game.
I love it.
It's good
and
stuff.
So here's the thing. On this same soundtrack, there are 3 Chocobo themes. This is the first one. This is how Nobuo Uematsu chose to do it for this game. The other 2 were not done by him. They're done by other people.
They're really different.
And they're very different. They're very different. And judge yourself which one you prefer. But this one's greatest hits. Uematsu is just like Greatest hits, Chocobo theme. You
Yep.
got it.
Prelude.
Plugging
Final
it
Fantasy
in
theme,
exactly how it
Chocobo.
was. But the other ones you're going to hear are very different from this.
My next is 61.
I'm just
Oh, you
60.
have 60?
Well,
Okay.
only because my only note here is classics of Uematsu.
Oh, yes.
He's really leaning into the prog rock.
There he goes.
Just like face melting, like very much so in this particular song. It's just like boom, just yeah.
On his little keyboard.
I'm sure this would have been fun to perform. And then
Again,
he's got
with
all
his-
his beeps and boops and his
Yeah, I think again, this is 100% just a personal preference for the style of rock that I like. One of the reasons why it's not that I don't like the same like era of like classic rock that you like.
yeah.
And this is way sillier than that.
Yes.
But it's that organ keyboard
Yeah.
like mixed in with the guitars that to me like gives it this like silly feel to it.
That was kind of my issue with Dream Theater as well. Dream Theater was really cool. I don't love the parts when the keyboard shows up.
Yeah,
it's like
it's not that it's a bad sound.
no.
It's almost just like it's sort of like immediately to me reduces its gravitas
Yeah.
and becomes more fun. And like maybe that's why people who are into that sound like it. It's very fun. But particularly for like battle stuff like this, like here,
This works for battle stuff. Yeah, this is the
you
face
just get
melting part. It's
some
pretty
crazy
wild.
guitar. But like you can hear that. I just wish the percussion and like the distorted parts were like a little more forward.
Yeah.
But you're so keyboard forward. And again, it could possibly be that Aquabats to some degree
Yeah.
like spoiled my sort of like feeling for like what a
For the
keyboard
keyboard?
communicates. Because
interesting.
Aquabats music is very silly on
Yeah.
purpose. So I like it because
Yeah.
it's silly. That's what it's trying to be.
It's Jimmy the Robot.
But
He was the
then-
keyboardist.
When I hear that mixed with like hard guitars,
It's
it's,
like,
just
wait,
like
what
it's,
are you
it's
doing?
like two separate vibes that are like trying to mix like the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, and it's just like I just don't feel like they go together unless you are trying to convey something that's just kind of fun
here,
or silly.
when they're harmonizing, and you've got the keyboard playing along with the guitar, that can always be fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
so
mostly agree with you.
I'm not like a huge fan of that sound, and he loves it, and he leans into it, and he is the keyboard player, so he's very keyboard forward.
Yeah.
And so it's like, is this battle supposed to make me feel like it's dangerous or that I'm like, ooh, like fighting? Or am I supposed to be like at an Aquabat show where they're beating up like costumed, like one-eyed
Villains.
monsters on the stage? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that might just be me.
yeah.
That might just be me, but that's how I feel when I listen to this style of prog rock.
Yeah. So I feel it sounds like Worms Eat Dirt and not
Yes.
and not like not I fell asleep on my arm. Yeah,
Yes. Worms Eat Dirt is a great example.
it is.
The Seventh Gate, number 61, is my next one. And I wrote, this is a good
68?
example. 61.
Oh, 61.
I wrote that this is a good example of a track that is good, but unremarkable. Yet
Oh,
has
there you go,
so
yeah.
many hallmarks of Uematsu's style all over it. So, like, this is technically, like, very good music. And it's,
Yeah.
it's the
It's
musicianship
talented,
is
yeah.
impressive, and it's well mixed, and it's, like, a good piece. But, like, I don't think I'd ever remember this.
No.
And that's just kind of like my whole feel for like the entire soundtrack. And I think
Yeah,
it's because
me
it's
too.
missing something that ties it all together.
Yeah, the
with
through
itself.
line, the themes, the leitmotifs, all of the stuff that makes it unified and not disparate.
It
Yeah.
feels disparate. And it's like, it's good. There's not any part of this that I would go like, I would criticize for being like, oh, that's weird, or like not a good phrase that you wrote there, or lick, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just,
This is cool.
it's cool. But like, I'll never remember this track in this
Yeah.
list of stuff. And I don't think there's any battle music in this soundtrack in particular that I feel that way about.
Oh,
There's
really?
a lot of battle music that's like, I'm going to remember that melody. That's going to stick with me. I'm going to hum that to myself. When that comes on, I know the character that's associated with. That's Sephiroth's theme. That's
Yeah,
Kefka's
yeah.
theme. That's X-Death's theme. That's Kuja's theme. Like, you know.
This keyboard.
Yes. It's crazy.
It's like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 intro or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, you're going to hear none of that in A Realm Reborn at all. This is like pure Uematsu. What's the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? And I say it lovingly too. I don't mean it as like a criticism, but it's like he's, oh God, what's the word? When someone's like, it's indulgent.
Oh, I see.
Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's he's being a little indulgent on his Black Mage sound.
Yeah. This sounds more Black Mages, less Final Fantasy.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of like how Peter Jackson made Lord of the Rings, and he's like, I don't want my themes to come in. I'm telling Tolkien's story, and that's why it works well. But then he makes The Hobbit, and he's like, I want my themes from my movie to be present. That's why all this stuff. So once you're referencing a thing that's already derivative of the original to begin with, it's like it's funny because he's the same. This is the same artist, but he's leaning into the thing that was born from his FF music as opposed to the FF music itself.
Yes.
But he said it's just what he wanted to do. Like I'm not saying
it's not bad.
He's wrong or that it's bad.
Yes.
It's just this. It doesn't feel so Final Fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
It feels like the thing that came after
Final
Final
Fantasy. He's
Fantasy.
writing the music he wants to write instead of writing music for something.
That's it.
That has a directorial vision.
Yeah, something beyond him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 64 next. What do you have?
63, called Without Shadow, and I skip 64 and go straight to 65.
This theme is also, I think, reused in A Realm Reborn.
Really?
You hear this in A Realm Reborn quite a bit for the villains when they're, plotting.
It's called The Creeping Darkness. Yeah, that makes sense. The Shadow. Yep. Okay, we can go. I didn't need to spend too much time on this one.
64 was also used again in A Realm Reborn. This is actually one of the most memorable Realm Reborn pieces to me. Like you hear it several times throughout Realm Reborn, and I really like this melody quite a bit. I think this one was rearranged, but it's very similar. Like
I like this.
They didn't really touch it up much. They kind of kept Uematsu's version for A Realm Reborn. I think this one's really good. 65 you said was
65 and 66 I have, yeah.
Well, this one's huge.
Yeah.
But even still,
even when it's big, it's like the gong
to the percussion. Listen to the lack of
it's not so
compression and reverb or any kind of processing
sweeteners
on
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
It's very flat.
That's true. It sounds more like akin to like a live performance or something.
Yes. It's not forward at all, the percussion.
And I can't remember what this
and those might
called.
be. I mean, those
Angry
are
Gods.
Those are still the big percussion instruments of an orchestra, but they don't sound massive in the way that a lot of modern orchestral composing does.
Yeah, they don't sound
it's
as close.
Still kind of just in the background.
Yeah. That's true. This song was just cool. I love this one. And I actually did the next one as well.
66.
Yeah. It's called The Primitive Judgment. Similar sound. Yeah.
Listen to the
I just
snare.
dig it. I like it.
Like how much that percussion sits behind everything else.
Yeah.
It's a very old school way of mixing or arranging and composing orchestral. Versus just, kind of what Hans Zimmer turned it into for the modern age.
Yeah. Sounds more analog and less digital.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Better than I have so far. I mean, using digital methods to enhance cut-through mixes in very specific frequencies, or otherwise just make the whole thing compressed in such a way to where all of it sounds humongous.
Yeah.
That's very much more like a modern sort of approach to mixing.
70.
And people have divided opinions on that. Some people don't like it so much. Some people love it. I think I understand the criticism of the modern way of doing it because it's become so homogenized. It's just everything sounds like that.
Yeah.
And I don't like that either. But I do like the sound, right? Like I like that big sound a lot.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
You said your next one was 70. I think I have 68, which is the Dark's Embrace. I think these are some of the final battle themes, and I believe they kept these for Realm Reborn as well. I think they were.
This
they
is
were like,
interesting.
we're gonna use Uematsu's like final boss themes for the Realm Reborn game as well. So I believe they were more or less
This is taking his
untouched.
organ and putting it a weird, interesting spin on it.
Yep.
That's just fun. I
so
like
the
it.
Dark's Embrace and the Dark's Kiss, they're back to back, 68 and 69, and these I believe are there's a lot of bosses at the end of Realm Reborn. I don't know if they're the final boss necessarily, but they're in that gauntlet going up towards the end. Let me cut forward a little further in this one. Kind of a cool organ in the back of this one. But again,
it's Black Mage's sound, but in a very different way.
It's just
like an interesting mix.
If this were Soken, there would be huge drums behind this to try to make it sound bigger and more epic.
Yeah.
And Uematsu is totally fine with a big battle theme, having a really tinny, kind of like snare, and just, anyway, it's very interesting, the difference there. 69 is the Dark's Kiss. This one's also used in A Realm Reborn, and I'm going to skip forward a little bit to where he gets going. Part of the end game battle tracks. Get a lot more of that kind of marching snare sort of feel in this one. But again, listen to those toms and things,
Yeah.
Very flat. Not flat in a bad way, just they're not forward in the mix.
Yeah.
Number 70, Nemesis, also used in A Realm Reborn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is just such a great
This
track.
one was used a little earlier. This one, I can't remember which of the, I forget what they call them. It's not, they have a different name for summons in like every Final Fantasy. They're Eidolons in one thing, they're Esper in another, they're called different stuff. I don't remember what they're, it's not Icon, that's Final Fantasy 16. I think they maybe are called Eidolons in 14. But
are they?
This might have been one of the Eidolon fights. I don't remember. The summon fights against Ifrit or one of those types of bosses. So this one was reused, and then I have 72.
Me too, 72, and especially around midway through, it gets really, really good.
This one's Maelstrom Command. Now this one is Noshi Mizuta, the Final Fantasy 11 guy. I liked
it. Me too. Me too.
He's one of my favorite FF composers. Final Fantasy XI's soundtrack is one of my favorites in the series. And, come to find out when we did our video on that one, he did most of the music for 11.
Yeah.
And I believe he did the music for a little spin-off title called Final Fantasy for Heroes of Light, which was, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but the director of that game was Takashi Tokido.
Oh, really?
Who did sort of like assistant direction, I would call it, on Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite old school, been there since the beginning of Square guys left in the company.
Yeah.
Who does not get nearly enough of a chance to work on their big flagship stuff. He does a lot of these things. He also directed Live Alive, which was one that never came west until they just did an HD 2D
for
sort of
Switch,
remake for it. He's great.
Yeah.
And he directed that game, and it very much has like the feel of old school Final Fantasy, and Mizuta did the soundtrack. So I love Mizuta, is what I'm trying to get at.
Nice. Me too, actually.
I think he's great. Let's see, where does this one go? It goes in kind of a
Okay, go halfway through. Go around halfway through the little this
part.
This was fun. I really like this.
Yeah, Mizuta's a beast. I love his music. So we're getting into like the 70s here in the track list. The first like 71-ish tracks were what I think were like the original. The game launched and it had those tracks in it.
Okay.
I think these were ones that were added like afterward for additional content as they were getting ready to either do expansions or then they scrapped the whole thing and we're kind of trying to make way towards Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff is not done by Uematsu.
Uematsu.
In these, next few.
And there's some real good ones.
Yeah, they're done by Square composers who were working on that bridge content going in between this and then into a Realm Reborn. So you get a lot more Soken here. You get Mizuta and Yamazuki and a couple of others. But you'll start immediately noticing that it's not Uematsu writing anymore.
Oh yeah, this
doesn't sound like Uematsu.
No,
but it does feel like Final Fantasy XI.
That's true.
74 is my next one. Or
73, 3 and 4 is for me.
Oh yeah, 73. Okay. Isn't that a Mizuta track? I think.
It will say Soken.
Oh, this one's Soken. Okay.
Is that what it says?
No, it says
No.
Toyoshi Sekito.
Yeah, this is a whole different
guy.
A whole different guy. Sekito.
There were quite a few who wrote tracks for this bridge content stuff, but
like the expansions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with the one before this. This is cool.
Yeah,
this is just really cool music.
It's great.
I just love it. Okay, and then 74.
74. This is Ryu Yamazaki, I think.
Oh. Yeah, Yamazaki.
And this really begins to reflect the change in tone that Realm Reborn's going to move in. You notice immediately the difference in how the
bass,
percussion is mixed.
That's right.
How big that, the drums just sound way bigger. And the way they're using
closer,
brass.
they're more up front.
It takes on a much bigger sort of classical heroic kind of feel.
That's right.
This is the sound of a Realm Reborn in its first. It's emerging now. They're
cool.
getting ready to pivot towards this sound versus what we've just been listening to for the last hour. And I like it. I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan of my favorite sound. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's just not Uematsu. So if you're a hardline, old school fan of the series, one is going to sound like old school Final Fantasy, and one is not. But I like this. I like this sound quite a bit.
Me too.
Let's see. And then I have 77 next.
Side 76.
Okay. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's way bigger.
The percussion.
Also, there's a little John Williams in there. But here you go. So this is the Chocobo theme. So this is the next. This is Soken's Chocobo theme.
Yep.
And very different from what Uematsu
Totally
had
different
done.
feel to it.
Totally different feel.
Now, when it comes
and
to...
now listen.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Kind of like Fantasia, that the March of the Mushrooms, whatever that one's called.
Yeah.
He totally changes it. And then it goes back into this. This is fun. This is really cool. But in some ways, I'm realizing that for when Uematsu was doing some of his older themes, he was like, just do the theme.
Yeah.
Right? When these other guys get their hands on it, they do very different things with
different stuff.
And we already have the original theme. And all credit goes to Uematsu for them, right? But sometimes I like the more fun mixes, right? Now, the prelude, I love the way that the prelude was done in this game. Because it just doesn't need, that song doesn't need different, things to make it better or to make it more mysterious. This is just fun, though. They're just having fun with it here.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Next one for me is 77, which is...
I have that one, too.
Ripples in the Sea. This one's also by Yamazaki. I feel like this really shows the change. I'm repeating myself. It's the same thing. The change in the music's tone between the original and where they were going.
That's interesting that you can track the evolution through the original game into when it was re-released.
This sounds like nothing we have just been listening to.
It doesn't. Where's the jazz? Where's the guitar?
There's no hallmark of Uematsu in this.
No.
But this is a hallmark. It is the tone. It is the feel and vibe of what a Realm Reborn is. Very much so.
There was another prog rock song that was not done by Uematsu. It was done by one of these other guys.
That's true.
Towards the end, where they introduced a lot of guitar. I don't remember if I put it on my list or not.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they were still sort of trying to bridge between the two, stay a little Uematsu, but also move in this completely different direction.
Yeah, and again, it's the fact that I feel when I listen to this, I feel that feels like a Realm Reborn. But when I listen to Uematsu, I think that feels like Uematsu.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy XIV or any distinguishing, uniting factor of what made that game what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like, this is a collection of Uematsu having fun, and I hear these other ones, and I'm like, that feels like Final Fantasy XIV and Realm Reborn. Right? Like, even though it's different composers, like what is his name?
Yamazaki.
Yamazaki versus Soken versus, they're united in the feel they're going for.
That's
and so
right.
it has a more cohesive direction.
That's a good point.
Like that's
That's
the
what I
thing
think the
noticed
soundtrack's been
immediately.
missing, is that cohesion. And you're right, it feels a lot more that way here. 80 is my next
80 is my next one too. Dreams Aloft, another
Dreams Aloft.
Yamazaki track that I just felt was really good. Kind of this. I just really love that theme. I love that instrument too. That's like a French horn kind of feel to it.
Yeah. Out in like a courtyard, just a solo.
I just thought of this.
The woodwinds.
I don't feel like Uematsu uses a lot of French horn in this.
I don't think he uses much brass at all, except for in those jazzy sections, But you're right, yeah.
Just I'm trying to think of like Uematsu stuff. That's true.
That's sort of, but that's not his normal stuff. There's trombones and maybe it's not a French horn, but.
I actually skipped moving. Actually, no, I didn't. This is where I started really taking notice of different percussion. So I wrote.
This song's
Listen,
so good.
this one's phenomenal. I'm a big fan of Yamazaki.
Me too.
I think it's quite good. But
81 is my next one.
Okay, so you have 81 first. Let's do that.
And 81 is called To the Sky, Airborne. I think it's very important to add the airship song here.
Yes. It feels more like Final Fantasy 12 or something.
Feels very 12.
It's like it's almost like anti Uematsu.
Okay. And then it's a short song. It's like 20 seconds long.
So
88 is my next.
82 and 83 are what I'm going to use as really good examples of Soken's style of percussion. And I'm going to juxtapose that with 85, which is Uematsu's Flightless Wings. So we're going to go 82, and I'm specifically pointing out percussion. How freaking huge those taikos are, right?
Yeah. And they're deep. They're reaching deep. That bass, yeah.
Just very big percussion. And then we'll do 83, Flee Together, same thing.
Ponzura.
It's not as
I'm also
forward.
noticing the left-right difference.
Yes.
He's using the stereo in a way I don't know if Uematsu did as much. I wasn't paying enough attention.
It's like Uematsu's are mixed as if you're in the, what do they call it? The stall of the theater.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
you're like away from the stage.
Yeah.
And a lot of modern composing, they want you to feel like you're in the middle of the orchestra, and it's all around you. And it's like these instruments are over there, and these instruments are over there, and you're like right next to those freaking plucked strings.
Yeah.
Your ears like right next to the freaking harp.
That's a good way to illustrate it.
So they mix it quite differently. But anyway, big. Now we go to 85. How flat that percussion is in comparison. And I again, immediately, I know that's Uematsu.
Yeah.
Just from
based
the
on that alone.
style of percussion. Right? And then I've got, after that,
88 for me.
is it? I wrote Seven Gestures. Which one is that?
Okay, seven Clowns, 89.
89. This is the one that sounds like A Nightmare Before Christmas, I think.
Yeah, no, that was 90. This one might as well, but number 90 is.
But see how big that percussion is, though? How
Yeah,
deep
even when it's like not supposed to be bombastic, it still has a presence.
Yeah. This is just kind of a leitmotif of Mog's theme in Final Fantasy VI, right?
See.
It's kind of just a play on that. But stylistically so different.
But that that sounds Uematsu.
It is. It's from Final Fantasy VI.
Oh, that's why, because it's the Moogles. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is Soken's kind of take on it.
Yes.
Very nice.
And
this does feel
it
Nightmare
feels
Before
so
Christmas.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Almost like Kingdom Hearts style, right?
Yes, yeah, you're right. It's Halloween. This is
Halloween.
Halloween.
It's like it's straight from it.
Yeah, that was Danny Elfman. Number 90, though, they include the singing. There's some vocals.
Yes.
And it is straight up.
It's King
Yes.
Moogle. King Moogle Mog the 12th. I mean, that is 100% Nightmare
Obviously,
Before Christmas.
that was, the inspiration for it. It almost follows even the exact movements of that song when it goes higher and lower.
Yes.
And the way the guy's screaming, it reminds you of the song, What's This? What's
Yes,
this?
what's this? What's this?
What's this? And
Yes.
it's the way he shouts, you know.
I mean-
I want it. Oh, I want it.
I mean, it's so obvious that it's clearly like some kind of homage
Yeah, to Danny Elfman.
to that movie.
And the different, Oh, then number 88 is what I had. So it's
Okay.
what is it called? Meteor.
Oh,
Meteor. So this is important because this is when the Meteor was first introduced,
Yeah.
basically. This is the song for the Meteor. And everyone's like, what's happening? And it's all ominous. And it's like, this is going to end the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is the music with which they chose to introduce that element.
did you write down who composed this one?
Yamazaki.
Yamazaki. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I want to like listen to more soundtracks by him. I think he's great.
I mean, it's a slow build.
Yeah, but
Here,
this
jump.
feels a little more like your kind of classic symphonic orchestral movie composing sort of style.
Yeah, that's right. It's not very melodic. It's mostly just like hits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a melody happening, but it's not very harmonic. Maybe I should put it that way.
But those drums again are
Yeah.
pretty big. Well, I like that. Those runs, those string runs are really cool. It's almost like the orchestral equivalent to a palm muted guitar.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Like the
The
cellos. And the slow rise. And I don't have a ton of context for exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. I like it.
98 is my next.
See, I've got 95. 95 is Agent of Inquiry. A Soken track that shows his range and genre hopping as well.
Yeah.
So this is
Soken.
This is Soken, but
Doing
he's
some jazz.
kind of doing that jazzy, but a very different drum kit
Yeah, you're right.
than what Uematsu uses.
Oh, there's some organ.
Yep. It's just not as crazy as Uematsu.
Nor as prominent.
Yeah. But, you know, again, I wanted to show his kind of range, too. It's not like he just does one sound. So he hops around a bit, too. And then you said
98.
Oh, yeah. This one's used in A Realm Reborn as well.
This one's called The Will of the Empire. It sounds like The Will of the Empire. It sounds like Holst.
Yep.
This is a fun one.
Classic Star Wars Empire feel to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, this one is used in A Realm Reborn for sure. Because there is an empire in Realm Reborn.
But not in the original.
Place. Well, I'm sure they were in the original too. They're kind of like in FF12. They're like masked, and they like the judges, like the judges in FF12.
Yeah, the judges.
They kind of have
I like that.
a group like that in Final Fantasy 14.
Okay, and then as we approach the end, I just have the last three: 102, 103, and 104.
I have 99, and I wrote He's back on his drum kit. The Uematsu sound. See how different the drum kit sounds between the two, though? I don't know. It just came across as very obvious to me. They have very different mixing styles. I like it, though. And then
trumpets.
Synthetic trumpets, not
with like a ska guitar. If anything should remind you of the Aquabats, it'd be this.
Yeah, exactly. 101, Fallen Angel.
Okay. Well, let's just do all the last 4 in a row.
This is a Soken track with a kit and guitars. Again, just to kind of like listen to the difference.
So it was Soken. He did the one. This is more in line with modern prog rock. Less so Uematsu, what he's been doing.
You can just hear the difference in style immediately. I think this is a boss thing, but Fallen Angel, definitely a boss thing. 102, you said you had?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is called War or Tempest.
Do you have who did this one?
It would be Uematsu. So this is Uematsu's track, and I think he did the last one as well. So
Answers, yeah. Actually, we'll get another pretty good like comparison between the two styles, because 103 is Soken.
Soken again.
This is Uematsu. The next one will be Soken, and then the last one will be Uematsu.
I like it when the guitar is used in this way.
This way, yeah.
Less so when the guitar is so prominent and it just turns into a prog rock song, but more when it's kind of supporting, the overall orchestra.
That guitar tone reminds me so much of Advent Children.
Ah, yeah. And this song is just really long, but it has a lot of different movements. It's accomplishing a lot. It's called War, so I'm pretty sure it's a battle theme. Yeah, but it kind of goes all over the place.
This is pretty nuts.
This is cool.
Ghostly.
This is like the Dune soundtrack.
Yeah. Crazy. I like that a lot. We get into the...
Get that keyboard. That's very Styx sounding.
This exact
This is
beat.
FF7.
Yes.
Yeah.
This exact beat.
It's the bombing mission kind of, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
It's a battle song too, a battle theme in FF7.
Pop. He loves to use that beat. He uses it in a lot of things. Let's see this next movement here. Yep, that guitar tone is Advent Children all over.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's almost a... Which Aquabat song is that?
It's a Sequence Erase. No, that's it, Sequence Erase.
That's what this sounds like to me.
These heroes change.
This part.
That's so funny. Can't believe how relevant the Aquabats became in this episode.
And then you get your keyboard back in there. Okay, so there's some more Uematsu, and then we get a Soken piece where you're going to hear what I think is much more indicative of his style. Big choirs, big percussion, big orchestra. Let's skip to the most played part.
This song I just wrote that is very interesting. This is such an interesting song.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan
Uses of
the vocals
like this. He does this a lot.
Yeah.
You'll this almost sounds like Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Which he also composed, right?
Oh, I forgot that he did 16.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But that very Japanese
And then it goes into this like
vocal,
radio sound.
like a choir or opera sort of like voice. It's very Japanese distinctly. But that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Let's see if we can get to maybe this part later. This sounds very Realm Reborn. Yeah. And then Answers.
It's not clear enough for me to know what they're saying, but it sounds cool. Now, Answers, I actually pulled up the lyrics for this one. And it's really interesting because some of the lyrics I don't think are very clear.
This one sounds so much like the vocals of the opening movie in Final Fantasy XI, which was composed by Uematsu. It's almost identical. Not the melody, but like the same exact voices. This has FF11 opening movie or vibes all over it to me.
I like this. This is cool.
So what are the lyrics to this?
Well, let's pull them up. So I have, well, this right here, I don't know if it's this. It's mostly when the woman begins singing. Here's the thing. This is the theme of the game. I have a hard time. As soon as the song's over, I'm like, how did that song go again? It's very difficult for me to remember this song. I don't know why. I kept trying. I listened to it like 5 times because I was like, I need to find where this is referenced elsewhere in the soundtrack. It was very difficult. So this one, it's so the previous lyrics where I close my eyes, tell us why we must suffer. Release your hands, for your will drags us under. My legs grow tired. Tell us where must we wander? How can we carry on if redemption is beyond us? And then this woman says, to all my children whom life flows abundant, to all my children whom death has passed his judgment, the soul yearns for honor and the flesh for the hereafter. Look to those who walked before to lead those who walk after. Shining is the land's light of justice, ever flows the land's well of purpose. Walk free, believe the land is alive, so believe. But then this part is crazy because it enters this weird, almost, it's not prog rock, it's just prog, I guess, because it's not rock. Right. But she just says a word and then the choir says a word back and then so it's suffer, free, promise, think, witness, teach, reason, hear, follow, feel, wander, think, stumble, teach, listen, speak, honor. And it kind of repeats. It goes over and over and over. And I'm like, is this going somewhere? Is she kind of talking us through a journey, right? First suffer, then promise, then witness, then reason, then follow, then wander, then stumble, then listen again, then honor, then value, then whisper, then mention, ponder, warrant, cherish, welcome, witness, listen, suffer, sanction, whether, wander, answer. But the last one, it ends with his sleep on. And why does it end with sleep, is what I wonder. And then they keep repeating sleep, sleep, sleep at the very end. And then she says, now open your eyes, our plight is repeated. So this is the part. So I don't know if they're speaking English, but she's saying...
That sounded like teach.
Yes.
Speak.
She's speaking English.
Speak? Tell?
Yeah.
Tell? Hope?
Yeah. It's I didn't quite figure it out. Let's just put it that way. It's interesting and it's cool in its own way, but I don't know exactly where it's going. So then she says, now open our eyes. Still deaf to our cries, lost in hope, we lie defeated. Our souls have been torn, our bodies forsaken, bearing sins of the past, for our future is taken. War born of strife, these trials persuaded us not. Words without sound, these lies betray our thoughts. This was written by Uematsu, by the way. The music and everything. So, with what you said before, I don't know how relevant this is to the story of the game. But at least for the song itself, it's all about just the journey of life, right? Life is a riddle, to bear rapture and sorrow, to listen, to suffer, to entrust unto tomorrow. In one fleeting moment from the land doth life flow, yet in one fleeting moment for anew it doth grow. In the same fleeting moment thou must live, die, and know. So that's kind of the whole thing here. The way she's singing, it's very 90s, by the way, that voice. Actually, she kind of reminds me a little bit of one of the Nightwish singers. The second, after Talia left, and then the second, or they have on the fourth one now. this kind of feels like her a little bit. So that's like 2000s, you know. But it's just, you know,
It's good.
life.
It's good stuff.
And it's called Answers. And this is the theme of Final Fantasy 14. But I couldn't tell you, I could never hum this song, even though it's got a strong melody.
It's good.
Mostly I'm looking for the chorus. That's like kind of the verse. Maybe that's the chorus. I don't know. Maybe that's the theme. But like this part is just but it's, you know, fine in its own way. Get that organ coming in.
Well, we've reached the end
Yeah, we're done.
of the Before Meteor
Before
Final
Meteor.
Fantasy 14 1.0 soundtrack. Again, very, very good.
They are speaking English. Zidar says they're speaking English. I just can't hear what the choir is saying, I guess.
Let's see. Song is Hydaelyn, game's goddess, or the goddess of Final Fantasy 14, speaking to the people she looks upon as children. Okay, so the lyrics are written by
From the perspective of the goddess of the world.
goddess of the world. Says,
But I guess she doesn't have any power to change anything.
Well, if the beginning of Final Fantasy 14 or Realm Reborn is anything to go off of, it essentially starts with you being called by her, and she's speaking to you through like the world's crystal.
Okay. Oh, right.
And like this is common in Final Fantasy 14, but the crystal has been sort of like the power of the crystal is diminished.
Yes.
And the heroes are going to be the ones who sort of try to restore
Revive
that
the
balance,
crystal.
right? So her power is limited, is I think the point. So, anyway, Velhart will have you on for when we get into Realm Reborn and moving forward. But what is your opinion, just real quick, of the 1.0 soundtrack? You're probably the biggest Final Fantasy 14 stan in this server, so we got to get your opinion on the original 1.0 soundtrack. It's amazing, but until the new track came in, it was heavily misplaced, and I asked myself, why is something that sounds like a final boss theme being used as a normal battle theme? So it seems like maybe tracks were kind of used in places that didn't necessarily make
That's what he was
sense.
saying before, earlier. Phase 1 final boss theme, when it was repurposed, yeah, he was saying it was just the tracks seemed to have been misplaced a little bit.
Yeah. That makes sense to me because he's not writing for events. He's just writing music
He's just
that
writing.
they're just going to take and use where they see fit.
Yeah.
And he's freelance. He's not like working at Square Enix at this point. But this is the last mainline Final Fantasy game that he did like the bulk of a soundtrack for, like the majority of it. He was sort of like a lead composer on. And so, yeah, he's not working there. I don't even think he's living in the same city. I think Square Enix had moved their headquarters. That was actually one of the reasons why he decided to leave.
They moved
was because they moved to, I think were they in Osaka and moved to Tokyo, or was it the reverse? I can't remember. Anyways, it was far away. He was going to have to commute to go there a long way. Or maybe it's just a different area in Tokyo or something. But he was like, yeah, I'm too old to get on the freaking train and go all the way, 2 or 3 hours to work every single day, back and forth. I'm going to go freelance now. And so that was the situation. Anyway, fun to go over that, but next time we'll be jumping into the game proper. May end up being a couple of episodes in its own right because there are so many expansions.
There's like over 600 tracks.
There's so much music.
It's wild.
For Final Fantasy 14. We'll probably maybe we'll try to break it up this way. Maybe we'll try to get through like a Realm Reborn and like Heaven's Ward in the next episode, and then maybe do what is it? Stormblood, and maybe the expansion that comes after that, which is everyone's favorite one that I can't remember the name of. Anyways, and then it goes into Endwalker, and then they have the new one, Dawn Trail, that are after that. So maybe we'll take it like 2 at a time or something like that.
That makes sense.
But the thing is, I have not played past A Realm Reborn. So that's why we have to have someone on who's actually played it. I mean, we haven't played this version of the game either, but neither has anyone else. So
No one can anymore.
I think
It's
we're
kind
okay.
of inaccessible at this point.
But I have not played the expansions of Final Fantasy XIV. So I'll know and have tons of things like, yeah, I remember this part for Realm Reborn. And then after that, we will be in the hands of Velhart.
Of our guide,
Exactly.
our Virgil.
He says it's almost all the music was repurposed. Only a few tracks I did not remember. It's a real blur at this point since these tracks were repurposed heavily. Like that heavy rock battle theme was the normal battle theme for the Lominsa region. And in A Realm Reborn, it became a dungeon theme. I would do 1 to 2 expansions an episode. Each expansion has a full OST. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it with you. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this. And if anyone out there was a mega fan of Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, is very sad that it became A Realm Reborn or something. You like the original game. Tell us why.
Please do. Please do.
I need some perspective on what it did right, because I'm not an MMO person anyways. And I was definitely not into that game. So, nice gif here from Velhart. All right, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Bye.